matter, because a lot of questions will be asked in terms of, will I be going back on AFTV? What is the situation? What happened, when it all broke in the media about my prison sentence and everything else? And I'm going to address this once. And once I've addressed it, I want to move on with my life and never speak about it again. But I will not be going back on AFTV. And that's not just a decision that's been made by AFTV. That's a decision that was made by me. Of course, we've all seen the statement that was released by AFTV when it came out in the media in January about my increased prison sentence. And what I can say in regards to that is that it was completely false. It's complete lies. AFTV, or I say AFTV, but Robbie in particular, knew everything about my court case. He knew the extent of it. He knew all the details about it. And to sit there and release a statement saying that they never knew nothing, they never knew the extent, is just a complete lie. To give you a timeline of the situation, because there's been some very false information in terms of how long I've been in prison, the situation, etc., etc. The offence happened on July the 24th, 2021. I was remanded into prison on July the 27th, 2021. I was sentenced on November the 5th, and I was given a 12-month sentence. That meant with time served, my release date was going to be the 25th of January, 2022. On the 22nd of December, 2021, I was released on HDC, which is home detention curfew. Most people will know it as TAG, due to good behaviour. When I was released, I was out for around about 3 weeks, 21 days, I think it was, to be precise. I found out about the Court of Appeal and that the prosecution were not happy with my original 12-month sentence, and they wanted it looked at under the unduly lenient scheme. This was something that went to court on January the 13th, and the Court of Appeal increased my sentence from 12 months to 3 years. On January the 14th, I returned back to prison, and I was released from prison in the middle of September. I've been out for around about 7 weeks now. Now, in terms of what AFTV knew and what Robbie knew, from the very beginning, he knew everything that was going on. Robbie's phone number was on my PIN so that I could make contact and calls during my time in prison. I spoke to Robbie regularly on the phone. There was a lot of talk and a lot of discussion as to what I'm going to do when I'm released. I spoke to him on the day that I was sentenced, which was November the 5th. And we were planning, for my release in January. At the time, we didn't know that I was going to get out in December. But when I did, a meeting was arranged. Now, I said initially when I came out on December the 22nd that I wanted to just spend time with the family and the children and everything else. And then Robbie contacted me on New Year's Day because he knew that I was going to the Arsenal-Man City game. He asked me if I wanted to come on and give my thoughts on the game because he knew I was, watching the game. I was a bit hesitant at first, but I said, you know what? Okay, cool. Let's do it. I'll go on there. He knew full well. We'd had a meeting planned for a week or so down the line and whatnot. And like I said, he was fully aware from the very beginning as to everything that had gone on and the extent of, the case that was against me. He done a character reference for me for my sentencing on November the 5th. He sent that on October the 5th. And for people that are not aware about character references, it's not just somebody writing a letter for the court to say, oh, this is a good guy, he's this, that, the other. It's something that you have to make very clear within the statement that you know about the offence that's been committed. Robbie, in his statement, made very, very clear that he knows about the offence that I've been convicted of and what I'm facing, but it doesn't change his views as to his thoughts about me as a person and what I've contributed to AFTV over all the years that he's known me, and that I was his friend and that I'd got to know him from a business sense to being a friend. So that was, you know, basically what the character reference was for the court case. And this is a character reference that was read out in court. This is a character reference that the judge had in his hands and reference to, along with other character references that I had for my court case. We had a meeting 6 days before the Court of Appeal changed my sentence and I returned to prison. And the reason for this meeting was to talk about how we were going to address the last 5 months or so where I wasn't on AFTV or doing my own videos. And I'll get onto the details of that in a second. But the reasoning for this is that Robbie didn't believe that I could just go back into filming videos. There were going to be too many questions. Too many people were going to say, well, where's he been for the last 5 months? Where's he, you know, really been? What's really happened? There was all the talk about the mental health side of things. And, you know, this is something that Robbie had agreed with and said, you know, at the moment, it's not right to bring it out because you can't defend yourself whilst you're in prison. You're going through mental health problems before the incident took place. And that's very, very clear. You can tell by the timeline, way before the incident had happened and I'd gone to prison, I was struggling in my personal life. I was really, really struggling to the point where I really had contemplated taking my own life. You know, everybody on AFTV and the wider community had reached out to me long before, you know, the offence had happened and had offered their help and their support. And everything about the mental health side of things was genuine. It's something that I'd had a problem with going right back to December 2020 when I sent a message to Robbie stating that I'm really struggling with my mental health and that doing the watch-alongs with him, the live streams and everything was really starting to get to me. All the abuse about my family, my dead brother, my children, my partner and everything else was really, really starting to have an effect on me. And I reached out to Robbie in a message and I basically poured my heart out to him and said, I can't do it no more. It's really, really affecting me. And at that moment, I would have actually given up all the money I'd been earning to have my life